Honored.
Hey, I'm Scotty T from Your Comedy Minute. I got to be honest, I am really a little nervous about this one. I'm a big fan of this woman. Helen Shephard is with me today. She's a comedian, an actor, a model, a podcaster, a TV host. I think she may. Did you do plumbing and electrical work at some point?
I mean, I could if I
Yeah,
wanted to.
right, right. You probably could. Yeah, I thought you could. Well,
No,
Helen, let's
I would be terrible at that. That is something that I definitely can't do.
Helen, I would pay you just to come over and just sit there.
Blow things up.
Yeah. Well, I'm a huge fan, and I'm not making it up. I've been a fan of yours for I don't know how long. I've been watching your
Maybe a
videos, and I've
month.
been begging you to come on my show, and I'm so thankful you're here. I mean it from the bottom of my heart.
Oh, I'm happy to be here. Thank you for having me. I'm flattered.
I'll stop it. Let's start. You are in California now, but you weren't born and raised there.
No, I was born and raised in Essex, which is like
Right.
a county just outside of London. And then
Okay.
I was living in London for many years. And then about 4.5 years ago, I moved to LA.
Okay.
Yeah.
And let's because I want to because you've done so much that I want to try and go through it. In Essex, when you were born and stuff, I have that you started modeling at 21. Is that when you first started, or did you know earlier? How did it all start?
Well, how it actually first started was we went on a school trip to I've forgotten the name of it. It's like a big fashion event,
Right.
and I got scouted by a model agent there. So I literally
Okay.
went from being like unpopular at school to being really popular in that one moment.
So modeling started first then.
Yes.
Okay.
So yeah, I kind of like did a little bit of modeling, but I still went off to university. And then when I was at
Okay.
university, I decided that I really wanted to be a TV host.
Right.
And I managed to get an audition through a modeling
Right.
thing for a TV host audition. And I literally booked the first audition that I ever went to. I got the job for this terrible TV show.
Right.
But yeah, that's kind of how it started.
Well, no, keep going because I'm so taken back, and people that don't know you, Helen, are just going to be amazed because you have done so much. From like, if you go to your YouTube channel, you can go back and when you're hosting and doing reports on the air, and you've been on Netflix. Just how did all okay? So modeling, and then you decided to do TV.
Yes. So
Okay,
then I started working as a TV host and still doing a bit of modeling. Really, modeling was never something that I was passionate about or wanted to
okay.
do, but I was kind of lazy and I was like, well, I can maybe make some money from doing a thing that's not that
Yeah,
hard.
I just show up. Show up.
But it's not really like that. It's
No, no,
actually
I know.
it's kind of a horrible
A,
industry to be in. So
a lot
yeah,
of work.
yes.
A
And
lot of work for five minutes of shoot.
yeah, and actually, I did a lot of fitting and showroom modeling. So, not even photographic stuff, where you're literally in a studio just trying on clothes all day, either like doing fittings with the designer to get them the right size, or then I'd go to Paris, which sounds really glamorous, and be modeling in this showroom. And it was literally, you were like a human clothes horse. You were just trying on clothes all day, and all the buyers from all the big department stores would be there, and you just had to model the clothes for them.
A
So
human a
seemed
human clothes
glamorous.
store. I've
Yeah.
never heard that. A human clothes store. That's
And
excellent.
my feet would be so sore because we'd be wearing these huge high heels all day. And yeah, it
Okay,
wasn't
so
fun.
modeling out.
Yeah, it was a fun experience and I'm grateful for it, but it was never like my dream job.
Okay.
And I think really what I always wanted to do was be an actress.
Okay.
But I was told this story from when I was young that it's so hard to be an actress, so few people make it, it's really difficult. And so I kind of chose something that was very acting adjacent, being a TV host, which in
Right.
reality is equally as competitive and difficult, but nobody had kind of drilled that into my brain. So I was like, actually, I'll be a TV host. So yeah.
Well, that's why I'm so nervous because I've only been doing this for a little bit, and it dawned on me about 4 o'clock. I'm going to have a woman who does TV hosting for a living on my and I'm going to jump ahead a little bit just because I will know how bad I did when on Monday you put out a new video and you're doing a parody of this recording. And
Yeah.
that's true because I want to move ahead because you came to the US 4.5 years ago.
Hmm.
And that's when I started watching or started seeing your videos, a woman from London in the US. And go ahead, expound on those videos that you started making because they're hilarious.
I just started kind of like creating characters. It's like sketch comedy.
Yeah.
I just create these little characters and make these little reels. And to me, it's just like a funny stereotype or an idea of a character that maybe I'll work into a bigger project later on. But they drive people mad on the
Oh
internet.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
People are so angry. I'm like, this.
You just had one 2 days ago that went to 110,000 views or something on
Yeah.
Instagram. And that one was lame compared to the one you did yesterday. The one you did yesterday, I thought would really have people wound up.
I know. I got a few people, a few angry men came to complain about that one, but
Now, do you want to tell the people about that one? Because I
oh
have my favorites. I have some favorites.
okay. So the most recent one at this point is just a woman that doesn't realize that she's a victim of the patriarchy
Yeah.
and has no idea that the patriarchy has pitted women against each other and all of those things, and so she's just oblivious to that.
My favorite line. Can I tell my favorite line out of that?
Cool.
I don't mind men making more money because they work harder.
Yeah.
That's what's so great. And I jumped ahead a little bit, but that to me is what is the magic of your videos is that people buy in, or someone like me that watches, and you're talking about what it's like to be in California and women that act a certain way or do certain things, and it's a parody, but yet there's so much truth mixed in with it.
Oh, thank you.
No, you have an innate ability to combine, the truth with, actual. How much of it is in your your heart.
I mean, there's like I feel like in any acting role, there's always a part of the actress or the actor in it. There's a part of me in them. Of course, I I I actually don't judge these characters that I create. Any character that I play or create, I'm a very non-judgmental person. So I find it so funny that people get so riled up and so angry and they either come for me or the character. It's even funnier when they start going crazy about the character. I'm like, do you scream at your TV screen when you see something you don't like on TV if you don't like the character in a show? Probably they do. I don't
Yeah.
know.
No,
But
keep
yeah,
going,
no,
keep going.
no, it's fun. I just download these little characters that come to me and then I just record them on my phone and put them
Well,
out on the internet.
and I'm going to expose about how big a fan I am, but I think, and this is kind of telling to me, and maybe I misread it, but like I saw this was a month or so ago, a couple months ago, where you were doing a stand-up special there in California, and Monday or Tuesday, you put up a reel of all the stand-up comics, what it's like to be at an open mic in LA. Do you look at the smile on your face? Do you remember doing that video?
Yeah, I love that video. That's
Yeah,
honestly
I do too. I do too.
videos.
Because you did every comedian that was at that open mic.
It actually didn't do very well, that video, but it's
No, it
honestly
didn't.
one
It didn't. But I loved it because I could tell. Now I'm sharper than the average canine. You wouldn't believe it.
of, I believe
But
it.
but I knew in watching that stemmed from her show this weekend. Is that true, by the way?
Probably a combination of multiple shows and mics.
Okay, yeah.
Again, I loved making that video. I don't judge those comedians. Like, I think it's great that there's all types of comedians.
You
But yeah,
don't
that
judge
one.
him. You did an impression. You have one point you got mustache on. Hey, bud, hey, brother. I'm really high. You you did every comedian.
But it's funny because I have a lot of comedian friends and follow my followers. I guess some of them are comedians that I've met at shows and mics, and I thought they would get a better response, but it didn't. So I guess I hit a nerve.
Yeah, no, that's what I thought, Helen. That's what I thought. I wonder how many of those comedians know that's me. She's making fun of me.
Yeah.
It's like when I watch, and your videos are so diverse, and again, I apologize, but I'm such a huge fan. And we'll get on to Speedy Gonzalez and your dog. But I mean, like where you're doing hiking, and we'll get on to your fiance too. And is he really your fiance now? Are you guys engaged to be married?
Married. We're married. We're
Oh,
legally.
good Lord, congratulations. I
Thank you.
didn't know.
He's legally bound to film videos and
Oh,
comedy.
that poor bastard. That poor bastard. That poor bastard. I joke because I've been teasing you about that. From the
Yeah.
Oscars to Valentine's Day to, oh man. What I love is he's starting to get more speaking roles. You're putting him in more.
Yeah, he's allowed to have some speaking roles now.
Yeah. Do you enjoy, and we'll get back to comedy, I'm sorry, but I'm just enjoying myself. Do you enjoy doing stand-up more or making the videos more?
Oh, it's a hard one. Honestly, I feel like equally.
Okay.
Sometimes the videos are a little bit easier because I'm just at
Yeah,
home.
just look at yeah.
And so I guess they kind of seem like they're easier, but stand up and performing in front of a live audience, there's nothing else like it. So yeah, in a way, that's a thrill, to be there performing in front of a live audience. So
Okay, and I know the answer to this, but for people that don't know, what was the catalyst for you to start doing comedy?
moving to America,
Right.
restarting my life, realizing
Okay.
that I really didn't have my shit together at all. I guess
Really?
I kind of had in a way, like a spiritual awakening, even though I love to laugh at the spiritual community. No judging, not judging them either. But
I'm
yeah,
not judging them either. He just fluffs stuff off. He just go
um,
ahead. Go
but yeah,
ahead.
no, I kind of was like, what am I doing with my life? I don't want to host game shows for the rest of my life. I want to
Okay.
be an
Well,
actor, be a comedian, tell stories.
and you do a podcast as well, and I'll get to that. But I saw, and then maybe it was wrong. It was an interview or something where it said you saw Whitney Cummings. Is that right?
Oh, yes. No, this is true. This
Yeah.
is how I got into comedy. Thank you for reminding me.
I was gonna say, Jesus Christ. And by the way, Helen, I put the American flag up there because I know you're a big fan of that too.
Oh, yeah. We can get to that.
Oh yeah,
Um,
yeah, we'll get to that.
yeah, before I moved to LA, I came to visit a few times. And one of the times I went to watch a friend perform stand-up comedy. And I guess at the time, Whitney Cummings was working out one of her Netflix specials.
Right.
So she just suddenly appeared on stage. I had no idea who she was. And I watched her set and just thought to myself, holy shit, who is this woman? This is hilarious. And the things that
Right.
she was speaking about were just, I guess it was, I can't remember the name of this. It's my favorite special. I've done an interview where I say it's my favorite special and I've forgotten the name of it.
Sorry.
It's the one with the sex doll. The one
Right.
where she has the sex doll. And so, yeah, some of the stuff she was talking about, I guess, is technically feminist stuff. I was just like, wow, she's so smart. She's making this so
Yeah.
funny. This is like so real, but so funny. And I kind of thought to myself, well, if I'm moving to LA and starting again from scratch, maybe I can reinvent myself as a comedian. I'll just turn up and tell everyone I'm a comedian. So then I started taking some comedy classes, and yeah, that's kind of how it started. So it was because of Whitney Cummings. She inspired me.
Yeah. No, and you said it there, and it's best when I shut up, by the way. You're the interview, you do this, you've done this and I haven't. And I talk entirely too much. But the word smart, when you said the word smart, Whitney Cummings and you have that same, that's what I love about your videos. You are so smart.
Oh, thank you. I can't believe you're comparing me to Whitney Cummings.
Well, because your videos are that smart. It takes, I think a lot of them go right over people's heads,
Yeah.
but you're so smart in everything that you do. It shows that you take a lot of time into preparing each video, but I imagine your stand-up, you spend a lot of time.
Yeah. I guess like the main job of being a stand-up is writing the material and then doing all the open mics to figure out what works. So yeah, it does take a lot of time. And I guess it's like anything creative, sometimes a joke will come so easily, and then other times you have to really work it to.
Do you have can you do a couple for me? Do you mind doing a couple quick jokes you like?
Is this my comedy minute?
No. We'll get to that.
Oh,
No. This is
what?
just because you got me curious now because I haven't seen a lot of your stand-ups. All stand up. All I've seen is your videos, which I love.
Okay, well, I was thinking that in my comedy minute, I was going to talk
No.
about.
Don't do that. Don't do that. We're
Okay.
going to save that to the end because the
Okay.
comedy minute at the end that's going to be the whip topping and the cherry, and that's going to be. I can't wait for that. But let's just do some jokes, or just tell me. Let's do this. Do you have a favorite video that you've made? Like you
Uh,
said, like we talked about the stand-up comedy where you liked that one, but it didn't do well.
I love my impressions of all the different comedians and all the
Yeah,
stereotypes. Um, you know what? I haven't put too many of my stand-up clips out there yet, and I
no,
will start to put more out there.
right.
It's just, like I was saying, like kind of perfecting the joke, and I don't want to put it out there before it's good.
Okay. No,
But
I get it. I don't
I
want to
can
put you under any pressure because
I can do my American flag joke because that's already
yeah,
gone.
I put it up there just for you. Yeah, yeah,
No,
that's a good
so
one too.
a lot of my stand-up is about moving to America and being very confused about what's going on.
Right.
And some of the things that confuse me in America are spray cheese. The
Right.
fact that you took cheese and put it in an aerosol spray can, that is wild to me. And then gender reveal parties are just disgusting. And that shit's catching on everywhere.
Yeah,
Like
right.
all the countries want to do gender reveal parties now. Thanks, guys. And also, I was amazed by the obsession with the American flag. Americans love the American flag. It's
Yeah,
everywhere. And I'm always like, well, I'm not going to forget where I am. I know
right.
I'm in America. I know I'm in America because I have to carry my baby to full term.
I was waiting for it. I was waiting for it. Yeah, you wouldn't expect that. You wouldn't expect that closing line just because it's dark and do you like dark humor?
I love dark humor.
Oh yeah. Oh, I got a lot of them.
As long as it's smart. Like, I don't really like humor when it's like dark or offensive for the sake of being so. Like, it has to be clever, If it's going to be offensive, I don't mind offensive comedy at all, as long as it's really clever.
Um, Boy, I don't know if I should do it or not.
Do it.
Are you
I,
sure? Are you
yeah,
sure?
yeah,
Well, because I just don't know. Now I'm nervous, Helen. All right. You sure?
yes.
What's black and blue and doesn't like to have sex?
It's. I think I
The
know the answer.
woman locked in my basement.
I was going to say something like your wife or a good one.
It's close. It's close. My fiance. Now, was that on a scale on your level? Was that just somebody? I did it the other day. It's an older woman. She said that's sophomoric. That's some grade school stuff. I'm like, I don't know. I love that joke.
Yeah, it's funny. I feel like I might have heard it before, a version of.
Okay. Well, I think it's subjective too. That I have really upset people with some of my jokes, and I've there's other people that really like that type of stuff, and I find it like when I looked at your Instagram where the one joke or one of your reels the other day went to 110,000, and meanwhile the next two are at 3,000. I experienced the same thing, which is it puzzles me because it's like it's the same guy, it's the same stuff.
Yeah, I think a lot of it's down to luck though, right? It's just the algorithm and the time.
Yeah,
I don't know so much whether the time that you post and those things come
yeah.
into it. Some things
Do,
seem to
do you get
really.
caught up in that, Helen? Because I made a vow. It's been 4.5 years. I'm not doing it anymore.
No, I did for a little while and it made zero difference
Yeah,
to
yeah.
how well videos do. And a lot of my views come from non-followers anyway. So the data that you
Right,
get is just from
right.
your followers. So I kind of just do whatever I want at this stage.
Well, what I think is funny, and again, I'm talking a lot about your videos, but like there's one, and your husband now, where you're going to go hiking,
Oh yeah.
and you've got Speedy with you, I think, and I'm waiting for you to go hiking, and you set it up, and you basically tell him we're not going hiking. This was just part of the video.
Yeah. This just a photo shoot.
Well, do you want to talk about Speedy a little bit? Speedy's got his own, or has own Instagram page.
Yeah, I must update it. I got so excited when I first got him. I started an Instagram for him and then I just like forgot to post. Um, he is my little rescue dog.
Yeah,
I think he's like half Chihuahua, half Italian Greyhound, maybe a bit of
right.
poodle, something else in there. And he's called Speedy Gonzalez. He was already called that. His name was already Speedy at the rescue, and it just
Okay.
suits him so much because he's so fast. He's like a Chihuahua with really long legs,
Yeah.
so it's very fast. So it's like kind of perfect. He looks like a little mouse that's fast. So it's the
Well,
perfect.
part of the reason I said it, I did the same thing. I had rescued two different beagles, and one
Oh,
of them was Hope Hope. Hope
oh,
Hope. And Hope Hope had angel eyes. In other words, all I had to do was, and she had a big following, and it was easy. It was, it was too easy. Hope Hope, Hope Hope. Thanksgiving, I put a turkey in her bed. Hope Hope. Yeah,
oh.
and then people like, you're exploiting that damn dog. I'm
Like, yeah,
sorry.
I need the views. I
I
need the
need
likes.
the views. No, I never did. It was one of those things. Hope Hope had a mind of her own, and I imagine Speedy has a mind of his own too.
Yes. Yeah. He's
When you,
got he's he's got some rescue dog trauma for sure. He was
yeah,
found on the street and he was in the rescue for 3 months before I got him. So yeah,
right.
he's got some issues that he's working through.
He's adorable, and I love even there again. You tie in. I'll go back to smart because that's what you are, where you tied in Speedy, and you did a video about tax write off now because I got Speedy in the video.
Yeah.
I just love what you do, Helen. I can't tell you how much
Oh,
because
thank
you and I do think you're going to end up with your own Netflix special or your own, Whitney Cummings level type of stuff because you do such smart stuff, and I think people will eventually. It takes a little while sometimes
yeah.
for
Thank
people to gain what Helen's about.
to understand what's going on. I think most people are like, yeah, what's this crazy British woman doing?
you know, I I find very few that I turn off. You always, because I think what's neat is that you poke fun at the very thing that and again you say it's not personal, but I think there's a little Have you ever had anybody like get upset at
Yes.
you? Okay. Tell me that. I'd love to hear that real quick.
I posted a video that
I'm loving this.
I posted a video of just a clip of me talking, saying here in LA, everybody's always talking about ancestral healing and generational trauma and how to heal it. And I was like, if you want to solve it, just don't have kids. Like, don't have kids, and you won't pass your trauma on. And that one got a lot of hate. People got really angry, including my own mother. She got very upset about it.
Really?
Yeah, I think I hit a nerve. I'm like, well, everybody just needs to go to therapy before they have kids. um, but yeah, I
It's comedy is for me. And you said you came to the US 4 years ago, 4.5. I started your comedy minute 4.5 years ago when I got fired for telling jokes. And I've always been a damn fool. And I thought, well, people like me telling jokes and being silly. And that's when I started your comedy minute. And just what you said, it's amazing to me there. You talked about your mother. My brother, he doesn't speak to me anymore for some of the jokes I've done.
wow.
Yeah, I think there's that different. He doesn't differentiate between Scotty T, the guy on your comedy minute, versus this is your brother. And I really didn't eat grandma's vagina.
Oh my God.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
I
I'm
always
sorry.
tell, I always tell people to go and watch Ricky Gervais's special,
Yeah,
like Humanity, where he literally explains that so well.
yeah, he
You know,
does.
yeah, he does a really good job of.
You
I
can do
mean,
any joke. Ricky Gervais said you can do any joke you want, but you have to be prepared for the ramifications of that joke.
yeah, and he also does a good job of explaining like it. If he makes a joke, that's him as a comedian making a joke and being funny. He's not
Yeah,
trying to insult someone that the joke's about. He's making a joke because it's funny. It's not,
yeah.
Anyway, comedy is open to interpretation.
Yeah, yeah. And
People
and
love
and I
to.
didn't mean to be so serious, but I'm just so taken back by everything about you. Let's get on to real quick, and we're going to get to your comedy minute. Plant-based life you enjoy. You're just a vegan and don't eat any meat.
I'm just a vegan.
No, I don't mean that the wrong way.
I know what you mean. No, yeah, I'm vegan. When I moved here, I've been vegetarian pretty much my entire life,
Okay.
and decided to become vegan. I'm really into health and wellness. I went from being like an alcoholic party girl to like being like this
God, why didn't
real.
I meet you then? Why didn't I meet you then?
I know
Why
there's a
did I
lot of
meet
people
this
that have.
nice, clean cut vegan girl?
I know. My
Jesus.
comedy doesn't like quite match up with like who I am in real life, but I'm super into health and fitness and
Right.
looking after myself. Which honestly, like since I've been doing that, it makes me more creative and
Yeah.
it's easier to write and perform because just
Yeah.
open channel to
Sure.
inspiration and creativity.
Yeah. Well, I'm 62 years old, so I can blame it on like, I'm going back. I, I could just say, well, it's not that funny little drinking problem of mine. It's I'm smoking the crack light now, Helen. I started smoking crack light. I'm trying to, get my diet in order.
That's better for you. Yeah, the
Yeah, the
crack.
diet crack had like an aftertaste when I smoked it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Helen. I told you could say anything you want.
I know. I haven't, you know what? I don't really plan to do dirty blue
No, no,
jokes.
no. And I'm just joking.
No, but sometimes I just wanted to check because I asked you before they started,
Yeah,
can I swear? Can I say inappropriate things?
yeah.
Because sometimes it just comes out and sometimes you just need to swear for emphasis.
Go ahead. For me, just give me one. Just go off.
Well, you just
Something
want
your fans would not expect because then I can say, I had her go ape shit, go crazy on my show. Yeah, I'll tell you what.
to know if
I
I'm
think
a go
something.
ape shit type of person. I think I'm quite poised.
You're not an ape shit kind of person.
No.
All right, let's try this because we're going to run out of time, and I want to. What's something that really pisses you off? Something that, daddy.
Animal cruelty? Was I meant to do something serious or something comedic?
Boy, let's get the humor and beating up a dog or a cat.
Yeah, animal cruelty.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
I agree with that. So, but we're not going to get you to go off on a rash of obscenities about some guy beating a dog.
No, we won't do that.
I'll touch on that real quick. And we'll get.
I'll lead by example. Like, you know, I'm vegan, I have a rescue dog, I'm very kind to animals. So yeah.
Okay.
I like
Well,
that's a better way to do than to yeah. I don't really think my comedy is I'm never really like
no.
laughing at other people. It's more there's a lot of satire and there's a lot of situational stuff. But yeah, again, unless it's really smart, I don't really think like laughing and mocking people is the funniest humor. You
No,
got to
no.
like Ricky Gervais level to kind of pull that off.
Right. Well, I'll tell you what, I've learned a lot just, talking to you for a half hour. And um, I think you nailed it there. That's why I guess I was so shocked when you said, well, can I say, because I was like, I've watched all your videos. I've never heard you do any, you're like G rated.
Yeah,
You're like Mary Poppins.
thank you.
All right. Well, look, I'm going to let you go, but you've been talking about it. I'm excited because you must have something good for me. Helen Shephard, your comedy minute. Let's go.
Well, thing is, your audience is predominantly American. I thought I'd talk about some of, some more things that confuse me in America.
Okay.
Like biscuits. Biscuits to us are cookies. So
Right.
that's very confusing. Like I thought at first I was gonna get like cookies with my breakfast. I was like, this menu is mental. Um, and then the funniest one of all is a fanny pack. You know, a fanny pack, we call that a bum bag because a fanny is a vagina. So you're literally like, oh, look at my vagina pack. That's what British people hear when you say fanny pack. I was like, what? This is weird.
It,
Um, yeah. And then we don't have to get smog tests in the UK. So I got a letter saying that I needed to get a smog test. And I was like, shit, I better call my gynecologist. And, and then my gynecologist was like, you need to go see a mechanic. So I went to see my local mechanic. And I have to say, the pap smear he gave me was incredibly thorough. One more. What should I do? Oh, so I love horses. I love to horse ride.
Yeah.
And I said to my friend who's American, I really want to go horse riding this weekend. And she looked at me and said, don't you mean horseback riding? And I was like, in the UK, we don't feel the need to specify which part of horse we're going to ride. I was like, wow, Americans are crazy.
It's funny, and thank you for that because it was all brilliant. But it's funny because I worked in the music business. You probably don't know this, but I worked with a lot of bands. Like I know you and your now husband went and saw The Cure, and I worked with a lot of bands from the UK. And I remember being with one band, and he kept talking about a bird. And I was like,
Oh,
what the fuck are you? I'm sorry, you talking about? There's no birds in here. And he was talking about a woman.
girl, yeah, bird, like a chick, a
Yeah,
bird.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And it's funny how, and that was just, and I'll let you go, but I was curious about that too.
That's funny. I'm gonna write
Comedy,
that down for my notes.
no,
Bird. I didn't realize that wasn't used here.
yeah, no, the bird. Yeah, because I all night he kept talking about. We were in this bar. He got done playing. And he was talking about the bird. Like I've been with the guy from the Psychedelic First, Richard Butler, Love Spit Love, and he would say stuff like, "What the hell, bird? Look at that bird, bird. It's a woman." Yeah, that was crazy. But I was just curious. Uh, do you have you done comedy in England, and is it different than doing comedy in the U.S.?
I never did comedy in the
Yeah, that's
UK.
what I thought.
I was working as a TV host and I was just like, I have to stay in my lane.
Yeah.
So honestly, I didn't believe that I could do it. I was just like, oh, that's for really smart people to do. And then I came to LA and then there's people here that are just doing whatever the fuck they want. People, I love it here. Like, you don't have to be talented to just start doing something. And so it was like this very freeing, coming from the UK, it was very freeing to move here and just see people being themselves and doing
Well,
what they
I'll
want
tell
to.
you what, you have a fan in me forever. You're an amazing
Oh,
woman.
thank
And
you.
if you had a good time, I pray you'll come back and see me. I'll
Yeah,
catch back up with you. I mean that from bottom of my heart because I really am a fan. And I
thank
think, and I'm not
you.
just blowing hot air up your ass, Helen. I think you'll be a star regardless of what you do.
Oh, thank you. That's
I
so
mean
kind.
it. I mean it. Thank you for being on the show. I'm going to stop the recording, but let's talk
Okay.
for a minute off the air if that's okay. Thank you very much. Did you have a good time?
Yes, I had so much fun. Thank you. Thank you
Good.
so much for having me.
Okay, hang in there a second.